Will be evaluated by Jerry Morgan. Jerry, if you would please give us Josh's objectives.
His objectives are to prepare a speech that opens with a self-depreciating joke. 2, to string together 2 or 3 related jokes in the speech body. And 3, to close the speech with a humorous story. Madam Timer, 5 to 7 minutes.
One of the responsibilities that Josh does have in his life is that of music director for various churches. Today, Josh is going to tell us a little bit about that experience. Josh Burns, the music director, Josh Burns.
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters guests. When I was younger, the church that I went to was in need of a music director. And they picked the worst possible person. This person was inexperienced. They could kind of sing, and they had never led worship before. This person was me. Now, back when I was a teenager, I went to Valley View Baptist Church. For those of you that aren't familiar with what a typical Southern Baptist church service is like, I'm going to go ahead and fill you in. Before the service, everybody's kind of socializing outside. When the service begins, everybody goes in and they sit in the exact same seat they've sat in every week for the past 30 or 40 years. After that, somebody gets up and very blandly reads announcements, tells us what's happening over the next few weeks, Sunday school schedules, etc., etc. And then, maybe a little wild, they collectively sing 4 to 5 traditional Baptist hymns that were written around the late 1800s. Then the offering plate is passed. Then you have the pastor, he gets up there and he'll give about a 30 to 45 minute sermon. Then he steps down, there's a prayer. You have an invitation where he invites people to come up and accept Christ or join the church or rededicate their lives. And then there's a prayer, there's some fried chicken, and then everybody goes home till next week. Now I'm going to let you guys in on a little bit of secret, a little secret. People do not like change. This may be a shock to some of you. As I learned this over my life, I was just completely surprised. The way it's always been done has been done that way because it's the best way to do it. There is no better way. Any other way is wrong or too radical. And when the church ended up needing somebody to fill the music director spot, there were 2 people in the church, my buddy Danny and myself, and we were the only people that could play an instrument, sing, and were willing to get up in front of everybody every Sunday. Now, when I was a teenager, so I was about 17, maybe 18, my Walkman, yes, we had Walkmans back then, my Walkman did not consist, the playlist did not consist of traditional Baptist hymns. It actually consisted of things like Metallica, or Green Day, or Led Zeppelin, maybe Ozzy Osbourne. So my musical style didn't exactly match that of what the church was used to. The first time I went into that church with my Line 6 6x12 guitar amp turned on to full distortion with my electric guitar, I thought people were just going to fall out of their seats. And actually, one guy did stand up, yell at me, and leave the church. Continued on. So I don't want to be too hard on Valley View though. Most of the people there were actually pretty supportive, and over the next few years, the worship team actually expanded to have guitarists, keyboards, drums, bass player, basically a full band. The worship there got really energetic. It was actually really cool. And during that time, I really got to learn what the worship set was. It wasn't just playing music and singing songs. It was actually more about worshiping God and using music as a tool to worship. It wasn't just the music. The music wasn't the focus of it. It was the tool of what you're actually trying to do. And music has this ability, like nothing else, to transport us into a different place, to change our frame of mind. We can be in this funk from a week of just discouraging work or really difficult school, and music can just take you and completely change your mindset. And that's why we use music during a worship set, is because it can take people from all the stuff they've been dealing with throughout the week and during that service. The music kind of gets them where they need to be, where they can actually get into the presence of God, fall at His feet and worship. And that's what I learned about the worship set. It's not just playing a good song, it's a responsibility to take people into that place. Now, since then, I've led worship at a number of churches. Everything from Baptist, Pentecostal, non-denominational, and there's been various styles of music that I've played, from rock, country style, blues, everything you can think of. And one thing has really remained just consistent from all that, and it's that every time that I start at a church and again our place is moving and powerful, somebody gets up and yells at me again. But over time, the worship services really begin to liven up, and people get engaged in worship, and it's really moving, and it's an awesome experience. And something I'd like to encourage all of you for today is that if you're called to do something, just be true to yourself, be authentic, and stick with it. Don't let someone tell you that something's impossible or wrong, because the world may have been waiting for somebody ignorant of the standard to come along and replace it with something better.
Wow.
Mr. Toastmaster.